Hello, and welcome to another lecture for my classes. And this is for any class where I happen to be using social media as part of the learning environment. I call this Dr. Ford's Guide to Social Media Success, or How I Learned to Love the Chaos. A few things before we get started. Please follow me on Twitter, or if you're in one of these two classes, the film class or my healthcare innovation class, you can follow on these links. Please do join those if you are a regular user of Facebook. That is the preferred distribution at this time. I should tell you, given that most of you will be younger than me, you will know more about social media and hopefully are savvier than I am when it comes to making it work. And again, I think my good friend Douglas Adams, who wrote the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, had a few things to say about how we adopt innovations. Everything that's already in the world when you're born is normal. Anything that's invented before you're 30 is exciting. Anything invented after you're 30 is scary as hell for about a decade. And we are well into that latter decade for me and social media. I'm trying to get better, and to be candid, I tend to learn from my students more than I like. Despite the fact I don't actually know all that much about social media or how to become a social media maven like Kim Kardashian or Cristiano Ronaldo, I will nevertheless tell you a few things that we really want to have happen in our classes here at UAB. As an agenda for this, I'll give you a little bit of my philosophy of learning and why I think social media fits in, the goals for the social media assignments, best practices for social media posts, and grading for the project. The best learning environments have the learners at the center of them. In other words, the learners are not just passive members of the class. They are active members. Not only are they active in that they're working to learn, they're active in that they're bringing the learning materials, the process, and the content to the class itself. If we can create that sort of environment, A, I think the student will be happier, B, I think they'll retain more of it, and C, I think when they get out in the workplace and actually have to put the skills to work, they can recreate the process of learning the content so that they're at the most up-to-date they can be. In this way, you become more of a lifelong learner. That's the real goal for this. So what are the more micro-level goals? Well, for social media, as you may know, everything on the internet is not, in fact, accurate. For those of you who think it is, oh well, you're going to have a long and troubled life, I would suspect. So what we want you to be able to do is identify relevant content, know who the experts are on any given field, and be able to be a discriminating consumer of social media rather than a dupe who falls for, oh, I don't know, Russian posts on elections, that kind of thing. Also, I want you to become effective at sharing useful content. One of the ways we can inoculate ourselves against these bad actors in the social media space is by having good people who routinely reinforce positive, accurate messages. I want you to be that person. So what are some of the best practices when you create your posts either in Facebook, Twitter? We also allow you, if you're so inclined or insist upon it, to use LinkedIn. The first thing is we'd like you to be positive if you can. Try to find good things to say about some of the content that you're reviewing, seeing, that you're finding yourself on the internet. With that said, it is okay to be critical or to critique the pieces of work that we're going to watch or read. But you need to do it in a way that says, this is what's wrong with it, this is why I think it's wrong, and this is how it might have been made better. That's healthy criticism, and I want you to really do that. Again, I don't want you to simply like or repost. That's insufficient. I need thoughtful commentary that continues to broaden the discussion into other areas, hopefully. And so to that end, reposting thoughtful commentary from others is really good. Reposting scientifically validated content is also good, particularly if you're adding, again, more comment to it or juxtaposing two scientific pieces against one another. And I really do encourage you to identify and find some of the experts in your chosen field, follow them, retweet them, engage them in conversation, in other words, post back to them. All of these things will help increase your social media influence, which is really part of the game we're trying to play here in these environments. Grading. As I said, I use this social media different ways in different classes. You'll need to refer to your syllabus to know exactly what's going on. However, I do encourage you to think of yourself as an agent of the University of Alabama, Birmingham, and your school or department. To that end, behave professionally. If you're unsure about a post, you can always ask us, does this seem appropriate? And that might be a good thing for some people to do. One of the goals is, we hope, by the effective use of the @ and hashtag symbols, that we will actually be spreading the UAB message to a broader audience. Lots of students today are selecting universities by looking at their social media outlets, and the more that we can promote UAB, the better off we will be. And for you as a student, when you go out and graduate, the value of your degree goes up with the reputation even after you've left. So be very savvy about your postings. I'll mention the social media at the School of Public Health, where my primary appointment is not as well developed as it might be. One of our goals is to really move the needle on those metrics for the School of Public Health, and the same for the business school for those of you who are there. And I think we can probably do that in these classes. And I've actually gotten the deans to give me special dispensation on grades, that if we can really, as a group, move the whole enterprise forward in its social media presence in a positive way, that they'll sort of take the grade restrictions off of me and I can give everybody an A if our collective effort advances the institution's efforts. So that's it for me. I hope you have a good time on the social media. Follow one another, retweet one another as well. Those sorts of things all help the cause. Have a good day.